What you just did that I observed was this. You had your left hand back here and your right hand here. That will not work for the move. You want to take the two poi. You don't want to do that. You want to have the two hands roughly in line with each other, but the two poi angled in front of you like a triangle, like a very shallow angle. So it's like this, not like this, like this. So the planes of the poi intersect with each other like this so that the two tethers can hit each other. Imagine my arms are the poi. So not that steep, but more like this kind of angle so that the center of the tethers will hit like an X in front of you. I don't know where your elbows need to be for you to be comfortable. I would not say I have mine tucked in at all, personally. I think they're in a normal place. And I also do it lower. Like I don't do it up here, I do it down here. But that's personal preference. I wouldn't say what's better than do it this way. Not prescriptive because it's me. Then also you have to start in split time. So it's split time. The two hands are roughly in line with each other. And then what you're doing is you're trying to take, because you're in clockwise, you're going to take your right hand. It's going to pull up when they hit. The left one's going to push down. And then you're going to pull through the tangle. So at the point of collision, you have to apply extra force, going upward with the right and downward with the left to get through the tangle. At the point where they hit, what you just did was you just stopped your right hand and you kept pushing with your left hand. What you want to make sure that, so you sort of did this, only didn't quite pull through because your tether is so thick and the tether wrapped around the head. Shoot for a little bit further back on the tether so that it's closer to the center, not as close to the ball. Center of the tether, yes. Also, you want to make sure it's the center of both tethers. So right now you're taking your left tip of your ball and it's hitting the center of the right tether. You want the center of the left tether to hit the center of the right tether, center to center, both centers. Now you have to remember to pull through at the point of impact. So push your left arm down and pull your right arm up. Also try not to skew it the way you're skewing it. So right now, the way you're standing, you have your left hip back. I'm trying to explain. Right now, the way you're standing, you have your left hip back, so you're skewed. You want it to be even on your front plane. So you want to have them, remember they're essentially, so if I were to model what you're doing, you're starting in same time like this. They're pretty close together. Then you split it into split time, and then you have your little angle, and then you're gonna tangle, but tangle better than I did. What seems like is happening is there's not enough force at the point of the tangle for it to continue through the tangle. And what's happening is the tether looks like it's sliding down the other tether. On the point where it's sliding, what you're doing is you're pulling your arm sideways as opposed to maintaining that up and down force, which is why that last one worked, but the one before it didn't. When it's sliding, it's because you haven't completed the full tangle. And what's happening is at the point where the two tethers hit, they start losing momentum. And because you have such a thick leash, you need even more power to push through the point of the tangle to continue the actual motion of the tangle. Because you're losing energy to the force of the rope as it's doing the tangle around the other rope. Okay, so if you're going this way, yes, you push the left up, right down. Same basic idea. Apparently today is not like a good Airwrap day for me. Up and down, not sideways. So stop doing this, stop doing this. Yes, so it's this going this way or this going this way. And you really want to remember to do those circles like this, or like this. Yes. But it's much faster than what your hands are doing right now. So it's really this, boom, boom. You're doing front and back. It's not this. It is not that at all. No, it's this. It's this. So your hand doesn't go behind the frame of your body, and there's no front to back. There's also none of this. Like it's not this. It's this. Basically circles. Or this. One thing that can be helpful when you think about this is thinking about the point of impact. And at the point of impact, I want you to exhale, like as if you're doing karate and you're punching somebody, right? So instead of a punch, what you're really doing is you're pushing through. I'm giving it extra force. Well, extra force that hopefully works, but extra force to get it through the tangle. Slowing down at the point of impact, not accelerating. But if you're applying equal and opposite force, you shouldn't actually raise your hands up, right? Because you would end up where you actually started, because one would be going up and one would be going down. You wouldn't actually be coming up as you completed it. One hand goes up, but the other hand is going down. So in theory, they would stay level with wherever you started, theoretically. But in theory and in practice, different things. You remember your triangle. So I'm looking for a triangle here. I'm looking for a triangle here. I'm looking to hit the center to the center. Equal and opposite force. Once they hit, no sideways pulling. Remember to pull up with one hand, push down with the other hand, and yeah, I can show you really well how to fuck it up like that. My weak direction. My weak direction. Oh, so my weak direction. There we go. Your first assignment is to get it. Your second assignment is to see if you can get more than one in a row without having to do this in the middle, right? So you want to do 1 and 2. Then once you get 2, you want to keep going and try and do multiple ones. Then I would say the next step is figuring out a transition into it. So I'll demonstrate a couple of transitions you could try into it. So if this is your preferred direction, which it is clockwise to me, but if I were mirroring you, you'd be in counterclockwise. You could be, say, in a pinwheel and come down like this. In a pinwheel, come down like this. In a pinwheel, come down like this. Pinwheel, extension, air wrap. And it's a mini extension I'm doing. Pinwheel, mini extension, air wrap. Pinwheel, mini extension, air wrap. Or you could do weave. So for the direction that you want to do in counterclockwise, you would turn from an overhand weave to your right and then do the air wrap there. And then you could go back into your weave. Air wrap, back to your weave. Air wrap. Or if you get both of them, then you could go one side, air wrap, back to the weave, other side, air wrap, back to the weave. First side, air wrap, back to the weave. Other side, air wrap, back to the weave. Now, understanding, of course, from a performance perspective, audiences, I don't think, can really see that this is actually a tangle. So I think a very effective way to perform it is to be able to repeat multiple ones in a row so they can see it multiple times, and you stand a chance of them having an idea of how cool it is. But this is a completely masturbatorial move in a certain sense, because audiences, they have no idea what they are seeing. That said, I do think because of the change in size and the acceleration that happens, especially if you do like a mini, like if you do an extension going into it like this, I think the size change and the speed differential makes it a more interesting performance move. Your mileage may vary. I can go from my flowers, right? If I'm doing my flowers here, I could go from my flower into doing it on the side.